Hi, welcome to Adulting with Novia. I'm Novia, and today we're going to do a Q2 flip through of my main bay, my A5 Stalogy. So if that's something you're interested, stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me once again for another video. Yay! So we are officially into Q3. It is July 5th. I hope everyone's holiday weekend went spectacular. And now we groggily try and get back to business. So yeah, it's July, which means this is the end for my A5 Stalogy half year for the second quarter. She's pretty thick, I must say. I think this is the fattest I think I've gotten a half year so far. That's pretty thick. I'm pretty pleased because we like them fluffy over here. All right, so it's like, as I said like twice already, it's July, it's Q3. I'm not quite cemented on the ideas that I have for Q3. Like, I know for a fact I'm going to be moving into yet another A5 half year Stalogy for Q3, and that's all I know. Like, I don't have any idea what my cover is going to be. I don't know what my theme is even going to be for July. Like, I don't know any of those things like concretely yet. And I think one of the reasons why that is because I haven't actually seriously reflected on Q2 and how and what went well during this quarter for me in my planning system, what didn't work well, and things like that. Because there's no way you're gonna know where you should be going until you've looked at where you've been. So let's get this started, right? So I open up, and then I have my little saying for the quarter: skin glowing, pockets heavy, garage silly, house dumb. Again, another quote from Tyler the Creator. I have my vision board here. I have my little sticker here. That's my contact sticker. That's like offset. It lives there now. You guys can remember seeing this happen during my initial Q2 April setup, which is actually my first video back being on YouTube after like being off for a year. And then here I have like my Q2 goals situation thing here, and we already like talked about how this didn't even work in last week's video when we were brainstorming for Q3. And then my April monthly, I actually missed this monthly, like having a bigger like space to write things and a space for 3 goals for the week. But yeah, my monthly like plan thing, memory pages. And then this month, April was the month that the last month I think I used this weekly layout where it had like this weekly overview, a place for tasks, meals, errands, waiting on, and obviously my posted habit or sticky note, whatever, habit tracker. That thing stayed throughout the month. And during this month, my layouts were completely vertical, which I enjoyed. I used this Happy Planner sticker kit, and I made my own like days of the week stickers. Here, all these little word stickers I made, not the little hexagons that came from a Happy Planner book, the Modern Wild book. But yeah, like my layout was just, I mean, it was simple. This is the same layout that I had used for, I want to say I used this for February and March, but don't quote me. I think February was horizontal, but this layout I know I kept using. It just became regular and it evolved over time. And then at the end I have my reflections and a quote from Rudy Francisco. And that was the end of the Modern Wild theme. And then we get to May. May is really when I started experimenting more with layouts, I guess. This was one of the Still My Spread videos. I'll link that up there if you're interested in knowing how to make this spread for yourself. Because I had this little smaller calendar, and then I called it an overview, but it's really a schedule. It's like every single day of the week here and what happens on those days, instead of me trying to write it in super here, because I don't know if you noticed this, but I write pretty big. Like I said, we like things thick over here. And then I have my tasks, and here I have my tarot pull for the month, and that was a tarot card and its meeting. I also kept my goals. I tried to keep 3 goals a week up there, still with the monthly action planning for my goals and memories. I mean, I still used it. I didn't use it as heavily. I think March is probably the only month where I used it like chef's kiss, like absolutely perfect. And then we get to this weekly. Now this weekly layout, I love. Like, I love this weekly layout when I did it. Like, it was just chef's kiss, my favorite thing, because I still have my weekly overview. That's something that stays, but instead of having like different little boxes or whatever, I have the little Alistair over here, a place for me to write down what books I downloaded that week, and if I read them during that week, I got to check them off. A place for a song of the week, a place to write what my meal plan is for that week, and things for me to remember. So me doing this took over me actually needing like a to buy section, a waiting on section, or in some cases I think I even chose like an errands or to clean. I just used it there for everything. So that's what that little remember sections became. Weekly habits tracker sticker stayed. It's a printable from Peanut's Planner Co. It's a freebie in her Facebook group. I just printed it on gray Post-its. I can say Post-its because that's the brand that I use for sticky notes. Thank you very much. And then for my actual dailies, it's still vertical, right? It's still vertical. It's just that I just started wherever I stepped off. So instead of Monday being one column, Monday just kept going and going. And then I just put Tuesday there, and it went for a little bit. Like, I just started the next day where I stopped off the previous day. And I think this is probably my favorite daily week this quarter. Like, I think this is just the cat's meow. And at the end, as usual, I have a place for notes where I basically pre-plan for the next week. Yeah, I think this one's probably my favorite week out of all of the quarters. It just looks so cool. But yeah, like this is, and it just, wash and repeat. The theme I think I used for this one was the 2 printable kits. One from Peanut's Planner Co. Don't quote me. From Print Petticoat Bandit. And the other one, holy guacamole, what's the name? Ha, it's here. What? Nope, that's not it. I'll link it down below. I swear to God, I feel so bad that I don't remember it off the top of my head. You know what? No, we're gonna go find it. Hold on. Okay, so it's the same theme. It's Dark Shines. I got one by Print Petticoat Bandit and the other one by Planner Pixie Co. So same exact artwork, 2 different formats. That's what I used for May, because everything had been super colorful up until then. This is the Happy Planner Modern Wild book from April, if anybody was interested. But yeah, so that's the kit that I use the kits. There's 2 kits for May. And this little guy is it's from a t-shirt company. I'll link it down below. I just thought it was funny because surviving purely out of spite. I thought it was hilarious. And then again, same thing with the dailies for this week. Start them where I left off. and somehow use the same exact amount of pages. And we're just gonna keep going. The thing that I like about this, using the Stalogy in this method, is that I get to journal. I get to, like, you know, memory keep at the same time as planning my days, trying to, you know, keep my life together. So there's pictures and things, and, you know, me making notes of stuff, and it's not just a to-do list, right? It's not just a to-do list. These little days of the week things, they're actually from the Honeybee shop. There was a part of the Valentine, well, I guess her anti-Valentine's bait box. Cherry pie. She called it cherry pie. So her cherry pie bait box. And it's really cool because the days of the weeks are perforated. Which I absolutely, positively adore. It's like the most convenient thing. I would show you if I could find it, but I can't find it right now. That is the hazard of having kids. I don't know what to tell you. And then we get to the end, and this is my monthly review. I decided to try and be more intentional with my monthly reviews rather than doing what I did here and just naming 3 positive things. Like this one, now there's like things that I'm grateful for, a monthly rating, accomplishments, what went well, what to improve. Still have my end of the month quote. This month it was Charles Bukowski. And then we move into June. I also have a setup video for both May and June that I'll link up above and below if you guys are interested in watching how I set these up. And June is pretty much almost the same exact monthly setup, except I forgot to do my tarot reading, which, bummer, but it happens, for the month. And the goals, instead of me dividing it into 4 weeks and having 3 per week, I tried to cut back so I wouldn't get overwhelmed and just have, you know, I had 5. I did 3 of them. I'm doing the best that I can. Like that's all I got there. This month, it's another print petticoat bandit kit, and this one is her Love is Love kit for Pride. So it's very subtle, pastel-y, rainbowy type deal. And instead of making all these stickers and putting them all down, like where it says payday, bill due, I just created a key down here at the bottom, color coordinated, that's what I'm looking for. Color coded it according to what I wanted those dots to mean, and then over here I just, you know, wrote down the schedule, what each of those dots mean on whatever date. These are my tasks for the month. Obviously it's significantly less than it was in May. It's probably even more significantly less than April. Pretty much, I think. It's like, but June was just one of those months where it's just kind of like meh. It was a meh month. Like I didn't even fill out the affirmation up here or the priority. I didn't even have like a whole list of monthly goals or monthly actions or weekly actions. Like I did reach this one. This one, not so much, but this one I did. My memories, as you can tell, are pretty friggin' empty because it was just one of those months where it's like nothing earth-shattering personally or in my life happened. Well, I mean, there's, you know, political stuff that happened, sure. Like that shit I'm not gonna forget, but you know what I mean? It was just a blah month. Like it was just meh. We went through the motions. We did things. And here I just kept up with the same old daily layout. Lots of stickers this time. Like I'm looking at this and thinking like the stickering is getting out of hand. But lots of stickers. And then because I didn't have much to go on, like I have a completely blank page here that's extra because I didn't have enough things going on that week to even fill up the rest of this. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I'll live. And then we get into another week. Like, it's the same layout, weekly layout from May. And I still like it. I still love it. I just feel like for June, maybe it was too much. Maybe having the weekly and the dailies, maybe it was too much for, you know, what I had going on in June, which really, honestly, it was just meh. Like, that's all I have. Like, that's what, like, I have a whole day here where I wrote nothing because I don't even remember what happened that day. That's how blah June was for us. It was just blah, absolutely blah. So, and that's okay, you know, like, I forgot, like, I couldn't even think of songs of the week because there wasn't, like, I think 2 out of the 4 weeks I have songs of the week, and they're both Emoji Heap. The other 2 weeks, it's just kind of like, whatever, you know. I mean, I noted about Roe v. Wade. My daughter pet sit a hedgehog, which, you know, that was interesting. But this is also the week. This is also the week where I tried doing a Hobonichi, the Hobonichi test. Yeah, this is the one where I did the Hobonichi test. I'll post a link up above in the corner there. It should be somewhere over there. If you're interested in watching that video, I'll also link it down below if I try and remember. But this is when I tried to do a Hobonichi weekly spread inside of my Stalogy to see if I can feasibly use the other half of my A5 Hobonichi cousin Avec. And this is the whole week layout. Like, these are the exact measurements of the weekly layout in the Hobonichi weeks. I don't need to, you know, do a layout for a daily because it's 1 page per day. And the gag is, I can't even justify using 1 page a day because I can't even get through like a half a page for a day. Like, I know for a fact I don't need a whole page for a day. So I wanted to try the weeklies out to see how that'll work. And shocker upon shockers, I over here I have the sidebar. It's been so long since I've had a sidebar in a weekly. It's ridiculous. And then I have my weeklies over here, but then it was so much. Like, so down here I made it notes. I didn't realize I used notes twice, but whatever. So down here I tried to have notes. Down here I tried to, you know, pre-plan for the next week like I normally do. Over here I tried to do an Alistair little task thing over here. And I didn't like it. And the reason why I didn't like it is because it's so small. Like, my hand, my handwriting is so big. Like, it was too small. Like, just look. Compare that week to this week. So here's the Hobonichi layout, right? Here is the space that I have for the same week in my normal daily get together. This time it turned out to be vertical for the week. Instead of it starting where it's stopping, like, it just became vertical because look, like, you know, even on my Wednesday, I can put more things to do, and I probably could have just went all the way down here, but I mean, Thursday, no fucking way. I don't care what anybody says, because my to-dos, it was more than just 3 things. Like, there's just no way I was going to be able to get all that information in there. Sure, Friday, I pretty much got what I wanted in for Friday. But there's just all the information that I have out for the week. And even, like, looking at my pre-plan for the next week, all the information that I have, like, in here could not fit within the realm of these little tiny things. And I know I made it smaller by cutting it in half. But it didn't really matter because I don't like writing in such narrow space. 2020, I used a B6 Slim G-Boon Checho, and it was not my jam, like, at all. It was so narrow and so tiny, like, it just wasn't my thing, and I said I wasn't going to go back to that, and then here I am trying to do this. Yeah, no thanks, not for me, hard pass, I'm a mess. So the next week we moved on and back into my regular, you know, layout with my regular daily layouts. Also most important because this had been like migrated so long. I finally found tampons because we're in a shortage, and I'm just so glad we found them, because that one task has been migrated for like a month, or maybe a little over a month, but I'm just glad I found them. Go me. But yeah, so like the sheer amount of information that I put in these dailies. But even over here, it's like I got 3 days on one because I didn't need a whole, you know, column for each. And over here, I just dedicated to notes while I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing for July and my layouts and things I need to do. And then again, here's my monthly review where I have my gratitude, my monthly rating. It's a 5 for June. It's a 5 because it's meh. Things I accomplished, things that went well, things I need to improve. And over here is, for this month, it is Some Days by James Baldwin. This isn't the whole poem, but it is, I think, the important parts of, in my opinion, of the poem as it relates to June, because it's like blah days that just keep going. Then after this, we actually get into my quarter 2 reflection. So even more reflection, even more, you know, soul searching, where I ask like what my biggest win is, what's working, what isn't working, what I learned, what improvements do I need to make for next quarter, what I'm grateful for right now, habits I want to, you know, nurture for next quarter, and what I want to focus on most next quarter. And that's me, like as a person, as a human being. So that happened, and then we get to my notes. So, which this whole note section for the most part was set up also in my April setup that I'm linking up there, so you guys can just check that out. But yeah, so you open it, and then here's an inbox. This I'm not going to have in my next setup. This is absolutely useless. As you can tell, I didn't use it for crap. My TBR, that's going to be migrating to my new setup because I read. I'm an avid reader. That's probably my favorite thing to do on the planet. So my TBR is migrating along with July, August, and September reads. It's going to look just like this. And hopefully I'm going to do like a bracket for December to figure out my favorite book of the year. Over here is my wish list of things. There's a lot of stationery stuff on there, some perfumes. Over here is my spring cleaning list. More of this needs to be checked off. And then here I made a list of summer projects. This may look familiar because this is something that I looked at during my quarter 3 pre-plan session. I'll link that as well. Over here I put fall cozy, which is basically like the fall version of like fall projects. And then I did winter refresh, which is supposed to be like winter projects. As you can see, those are blank. I realized instead of doing all 4 quarters, I'll just do like the next season for projects. Like, so instead of me having fall, winter, and spring projects in my quarter 3, I'll just have fall. Excuse me, so I won't be wasting paper. Then I had a page for my quarter 3 set up, and over here it's like I'm brainstorming ideas for covers, which I still haven't settled on. I had my quarter 3 planner battle, which is my Stalogy versus Avec, and like Stalogy won hands down. The pros and cons of the Stalogy versus the Avec, like things that I want to add, like spreads to add, like meal planning and trigger lists, like just in general brainstorming about quarter 3 throughout these last 3 months. Here I have self-care ideas, a list for my kid that I'll keep. Both of these I'll keep. And then we get into some spread ideas that I have. That's empty. Vacation ideas, because we were going on vacation. I journaled in this little guy. This is when we went to our Atlas stationery in May, and I journaled about it a little bit in here. I will post a link to that as well. I'm skipping some pages because it's personal. Then we went to the Hobonichi spread. And we're moving on to my Q3 God dang it, I can't say this without getting tongue-tied. Q3 capture session. God, that sounded like it hurt. So this is my capture session. See, I tried. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So this is the Q3 capture session from my Q3 pre-plan. That's linked up there somewhere, and hopefully I'll remember to link it down below to go help me figure out this, which is basically my Q3 pre-plan with this 3-month layout here, and Q3 goals, and figuring out my priority tasks and important dates thus far for July, August, and September. Whew, that was a mouthful. Then figuring out some Q3 layouts, like what my order is, me pre-planning for July, more layouts. What the heck is happening? And then this is actually this week. This is this week. This is what I'm doing this week because I am not ready to migrate into a new Stalogy yet. So right now, this is the layout that I'm using. I'm not making anything any more elaborate because right now I don't think I need so many pages for dailies, at least for this week, while I try and figure out what the hell I'm doing for my next setup. Don't worry. Hopefully I will, don't worry. Like by next week, I'll know what the hell I'm doing. And then I'll probably end up, would it be considered back planning if you're planning in it already? Like I just redo the plan. I don't know what you would call it. But when I move into the new Stalogy, I'll just redo this whole week in whatever aesthetic that I choose. But that is basically it, because after this, it's just more layouts. Like, see back here, it's me trying to figure out the weekly layout that I did for Exterior Spread for May, right? Yeah, it's this one. Like this originally looked like this. Pretty basic, right? And then I think right before this one, yeah, there's the monthly. So this turned into this guy. So yeah, like that's the only thing in the back. It's just a bunch of layouts and a random post-it. But that is the end of my Q2 flip for my A5 Stalogy. Like, that's wild, right? That's just 3 months of my life. That's just, done. As we prepare to move on to the next, I mean, this year is going by really fast, and I'm on one hand thankful for it, but on the other hand, Jesus, slow down, right? So this guy is my planner archive. I'm gonna scooch this out of the way real quick. My planner archive sticker. Just gonna lay it in here. Last time I put it on the front, and then I realized that was a bad idea because it wrinkles. So now they're just on the inside. So that's where this is going. Right there, buddy. So the year was, picture it, 2022. And this is book number 2. And I'll write my location there after this mess. Or is it 3? Yeah, this is number 2. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining me and watching this video. If you like this video, please go ahead and click this thumbs up. Also, if you have not subscribed already, please go ahead and click the subscribe button right down below and the little bell ringer next to it so you can be notified when I post my next videos. All right, until next week, hopefully I have my shit together and we'll be able to show you my July setup. Hopefully, my Q3 setup, just any setup in general, hopefully. Until next time, bye.